Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Spiritual Growth Journeys. I am Kimberly Palm. Thank you for joining me here on my channel and supporting my work. And if you're new, welcome. I am mainly an Ascension teacher and guide, a spiritual teacher, a counselor, and a healer. And I use my psychic and intuitive gifts and years of experience to assist people on their journey. So this video today is going to be a combination of two things. First of all, I sat down with Yeshua, and just to inform anybody who doesn't know this about me, I've been talking with the guy that people call Jesus, which is not his name. That's a name that I've explained in the past that means Hail Zeus, and it's also the gematria of Lucifer. And they created that name in the 1800s. Up until the 1800s, he was always known as Yeshua ben Yosef. In the Bible, it was always Yeshua, or Emmanuel or Christ, but it was never ever Jesus. The Jesus name came about in the 1800s, and it was created by the really, really dark beings who run this planet to trick you all into worshiping a guy named Lucifer, and also Zeus, because it means Hail Zeus. So Yeshua and I have had a relationship since I popped into this body, this physical body that you know as Kimberly. I've had many incarnations on this planet, but this incarnation, he's been with me since I was born. And the reason why is because I had an agreement with him before I came in that when I got to a certain age, I was going to start teaching for him, to start to continue his teaching and continue the work that he did while he was here. That was an agreement we had, not just with him, but with Mary Magdalene, the two of them. I'm here to continue their work, as well as my friends like Stellar Fairbairn, and also Michaela, Medium Michaela. Please go follow her channel. We all work with what's called the family of Christ, and we have conversations with him. I do not channel him in the way. My idea of channeling is when you let an entity come in and take you over and speak through your mouth, kind of like the Daryl Anka guy who channels Bashar and it takes his mouth over, or Michaela has Yeshua actually take her physical body over and speak through her mouth. He's speaking using her mouth. He uses her filter. So sometimes it's coming out with her own human filters. Might not be exactly the way he speaks when he's speaking through her. But that is channeling. Now, what I do is different. The only kind of channeling I do is I channel my own higher self, my oversoul, which is not on earth. I'm a fractal of that angelic being, because my higher self is a 12th density being. It cannot be fully embodied in a human form. So there's a portion of that being that's in me, and the rest of it is in the higher dimensions. And so sometimes I will channel her because she has heavenly knowledge that is beyond anything my human brain can comprehend. And so I will channel my own self, my own higher self. I will also channel creator, but I do not let any beings other than my own self come through me, or God come through me. What I do is I have a conversation with Yeshua. He's just standing right next to me. He's always with me. He's always next to me. When I'm working with clients, when I'm teaching you all, he's always assisting me. So I've been talking to him since I was a very small kid in this lifetime. I also have had a very close relationship with his mom since I was a little girl, and in this lifetime. And that is what I do to bring forth information. So today I had a long conversation with him. I got a lot of very personal stuff answered for myself, which of course I never share with you all because it's personal. But I always ask him, what do you want me to convey to the collective or to the people who follow my videos? What do you want me to tell them? And so he gave me a pretty long message for all of you. It's very important information, and we will go over that in a minute. And then after that, I am going to be doing a teaching for you from him that him and I collaborated on, because from this point forward, we are going to help you really hardcore focus on how to get into that fifth density. Okay. We don't want you to just only go to 4D. 4D, in order to go to 4D and stay on this planet. So keep in mind that we're all going to be here together. People who are in 4D, 5D, 6D, we will all be sharing the planet together. You will be, if you're 5D and your family members are 4D, you will still see your family members. They will see you. You will still be hanging out with them. You're just going to have some supernatural superpowers and abilities that they don't have yet. And if they want those, then they will work with you and you will teach them, and then they will get them too in this lifetime. We will be able to help our family members to come up to those higher levels. Now, in order to stay here on this planet, you have to be a love and light being. You have to be of love and light. You have to be mostly loving and service to others. All of the people who cannot be loving and service to others are going to be leaving here. They will not be staying. Okay. In the end, it's been told several times through me and through other psychics like Jenny Lee and Medium Michaela and a lot of people who you all listen to on this YouTube, my friend Katrina, um, Pat, who is Red Mountain Shaman, a lot of us have been telling you that in the end, most of the population is going to be gone because most of the humans on this earth cannot play nice in the sandbox. They're narcissistic, or they're evil, or they're pedos, or they're just rapists, thieves, killers, backstabbers, total narcissists, totally, or they're totally fear-based, and they will not be able to support the higher frequencies that Mother Gaia is transcending and changing to. So they will be leaving here. You have to be of love and light. Now, a lot of you, your families are loving, but they're not awake. It doesn't matter if they're awake. They will still ascend being completely asleep. Being awake isn't going to ascend them. What's going to ascend them is for them to be a love and light being and for them to do work on themselves. But while they're asleep, they can't do that work. So what will happen is they will have an awakening, and then you who are watching this, you will be assisting your family members on how to get to fifth density, which is what my Ascension 101 book is for. It's all about helping you and helping your friends and family to get into fifth density, and you can use that information to teach and help people. They need to work on their shadow stuff. They need to work on the negative parts of their ego, because every human has to have ego in order to stay on this earth. But there's positive ego and negative ego. I talked about this in the last video, and Medium Michaela just talked about this with Yeshua in her last video. And ego is important. You need to have, if you didn't have any ego at all, you would just leave the body because there'd be no reason to be here. Being on earth, part of that is having ego, but there are these very dark parts of ego, stuff like thinking you're more important than others, thinking you're better than others, being a narcissist, hating on people, being jealous, possessive, judgmental, mean, nasty, all of those negative, dark parts of people, conniving, manipulative, bossy, pushy, controlling. All those things are all negative aspects of ego, and on and on and on. I mean, that's just a few of them. That's like a laundry list of hundreds of things. Those things need to be transcended, transmuted, cleared, and healed before you can ascend to the fifth density. So what we are going to be doing from this point forward in all these videos is what we call spiritual alchemy. I talked about this in the last video. I am going to be teaching all of you how to alchemize and transcend and transform all of the negative parts of you and all of the things that need to be cleared. We're going to help you change them over to what you need in order to ascend to all the positive things. So today, the subject matter we are talking about is going to be fear. First, I'm going to deliver to you a message from Yeshua. He gave me a whole bunch of information today to give to you. First, he gave me personal info, and then he gave me info that I'm going to convey to you. So I'm going to do that. And one thing I want to point out is I do not get paid to do these videos. This is my teaching time for free to all of you. And so one way that you can help me out so I don't have to quit doing these videos and go get a full-time job would be donate. I've got donation links down in the description, or take one of my classes on my website, or sign up for a private session, because that is how I'm supporting my family so that I can continue doing the free teachings and videos. I have hundreds of them on my YouTube channel that you can go back and watch all of the different things I've been teaching over the last 4 years. And all of that is my time for free. I do not have my channel monetized because of the fact that when you do that, they scrutinize your video and then they wind up pulling all your videos off and shutting you down. So I don't monetize. So this is literally my time I'm giving you for free, like spending the time talking to him and even getting messages for you. That takes my time, and then sitting here doing the video if I need to edit or whatever, it's all the time that I'm doing for free. So the best way that you can support and help me out so I don't have to go back to a full-time job again and quit this, because I cannot do both. I cannot work at a full-time job. The industry that I work in, I have to work like 60 to 80 hours a week in it in order to make it work for me. And that leaves very little time for anything else except my family. So if that happens to me where I wind up having to go back and do that again to support myself because I'm not getting any type of support from the audience that follows me, then I'm not going to be able to do videos anymore for anyone. So it's really important that you sign up for classes or do sessions or contribute somehow. There's also products you can purchase that are listed below, just a couple of them that I get a little bit of money for. I don't get a lot of money, and honestly, that money just barely just covers the products for me to be able to use them for myself to keep healthy. So but all of these things that you can do will really help me out. If you don't have money, I totally understand. I'm not trying to put pressure on anyone to give me money. I'm just letting you all know that the way that I earn an income right now is through the sessions and the classes and any donations that people give me, because without that, I can't survive. I can't pay all the bills I have. I wouldn't be able to have internet for my computer to do this work. I wouldn't be able to have my website. I wouldn't be able to have my cell phone. I wouldn't be able to have my mortgage payment and, medical bills, all of that. So that is what's paying that. And so I just wanted to point that out. So if you want to help me out, that would be a great way for you to do it, would be gift yourself a session and sign up for one of those, or a class or something like that, or whatever else, you come up with. So, all right. So let's get down to the nitty gritty here. I'm going to be reading all these notes because it was a lot of information today. Some of this is just for me, some is just for you. All right. So right now, the problem is most of the people out there are fearing what is coming in the future. We have a very uncertain future. We just, elected somebody into an office. We've got crazy things happening. We still have bad guys running the planet. We've got a lot of, or they're making you think they're running the planet, but it's kind of a war. It's really kind of back and forth. The good guys do something, the bad guys do something. This is a back and forth war going on with the minions. The minions are creating this. So, all right. So the biggest thing that you are all fearing right now is that fear of the future and what's coming. And so when I go to the lesson of the day, the teaching for you all, after I read Yeshua's messages, I want to point out that I will be presenting you first my idea of how to deal with fear, because today's concept is fear. And then I will be going over Yeshua's teaching for you all on fear. Now, Medium Michaela, whose link I have down below, is working with me and working with Yeshua, and he channels through her, and she's going to be giving you also instruction through him from him directly. And his will sometimes be the same as what he gave me, and sometimes it will be additional information to what he gives me. And sometimes it will be even different than what he gives me, because the three of us work together as a team. He works through her to talk directly to you, so that if you want to hear him actually speaking, of course it's her voice, but it's him talking through her. If you want to hear him say it directly, you want to go to her channel, which is listed below. If you want to hear all of the different views, you're going to want to watch both of us, because everything that we do is synergistic and works together. So you can't say, oh, well, I'll just only go watch Michaela because Kimberly says the same thing. That's actually not true. All of my teachings, everything I'm doing is very different from what Michaela does. Her and I do two totally different things. She does not do the work I do with people or with you guys. She does something completely different. But the three of us work together as a team, meaning me, Michaela, and Yeshua. We work together, and also the four of us, Miriam, because she works with us too. So we work as a team, and they speak through her and give you information. And there's other beings who also speak through her. And like Archangel Michael and Archangel Uriel recently spoke through her and stuff like that. I don't do that. I don't do that kind of thing. I just have a conversation with him, and then I take a lot of notes. And today I was laughing really hard because I called myself his personal secretary, because he speaks and I write down all his information and then I relay it to you. So I'm literally the personal secretary of Yeshua ben Yosef on planet Earth. So if he was CEO of Corporation Earth, I'm his executive assistant. So I'm taking the notes, he's dictating, and then I turn around and I give you the information. So I asked him, I said, okay, Yeshua, what do you want them to know? So let's talk about what he said. So I'm going to read you exactly how it came out of his mouth, not mine, okay? Please don't shoot the messenger. I'm not the one telling this info. This info did not come from my brain, my information, my knowledge, anything from me at all. This is all from him. If you don't like the message he's giving you, then you can go to another channel. I don't really care. I don't care if you believe me or not. I'm not here to convince anyone. I'm just here relaying information for entertainment and educational purposes only. And if you don't like what I have to say, you can move on. So he said, first of all, let the people know that righteousness is returning to your Mother Earth. Satan is not running this planet anymore. Have them prepare their thoughts for a major shift in consciousness. Okay, let's read this back again, because I want to say this slow. You can take notes. He said, let the people know that righteousness is returning to your mother, the earth. Satan is not running this planet anymore. He's had his ass kicked. Okay. I think he was recycled. He's done for. Okay. He wants you to prepare your thoughts for a major shift in consciousness. Now, what does that mean? That means getting your brain ready to assimilate the consciousness change that is about to happen to you any day now. You're going to go through a shift. Okay. And you need to have your thoughts prepared for that. What does that mean? Stop focusing on the negative. Stop focusing on the fear and the worrying and the trauma and all that, and start focusing on changing your consciousness and raising it up to the next level, which is fourth or fifth or sixth density, whichever one of those three you will be moving on to. All right. So you need to prepare your thoughts. That means you're not having your thoughts like negative and yucky anymore. Okay. Next, have them pray with each other so that I, meaning him, Yeshua, this is him speaking, so that I am able to appear to them in the coming days. I will only appear to those who vibrate in a frequency of love. Okay, I'm going to repeat this again. You all need to pray with each other. That means with me, with the other friends, with the other, whoever who's awake, aware, spiritual, you need to be praying with them. We need to all pray together so that he is able to appear. So you're going to be praying to see him. What will you be praying for? You're going to be praying for him to return and show himself to you. Okay. And then as long as you are vibrating in a low frequency, this guy, this is him, got his eyes shed. He's got beautiful green eyes, but whoops, he looks pretty much like that, except his skin's slightly darker, maybe. And his eyes are green when they're open. Okay, that's him. Anyways, he is going to be appearing to you all, to all of you. He will not be appearing to every single person on earth. He will only appear to those in a love frequency. Do you want to know why he's not going to appear to the other ones? Because they will be leaving here. It doesn't matter if they know him or not. They're going to leave here because the shift or the love wave is going to come through and then they won't be here anymore. So he doesn't need to appear to them because it's not going to help them. They're not going to change. These are people who they're stuck in fear, they're stuck in pedo, or they're stuck in evil or satanic worshiping or whatever else they do, or being narcissists. They're stuck there and they are not budging. Showing himself to them won't make them change. These Satanist people are so damn evil that even when he pops in front of them and says, if you don't bow on your knees to me, you're going to hell, they laugh in his face. They literally laugh at him. Okay. So he's not going to bother wasting his energy appearing to people who are not ready for him and worthy. They're not worthy of being in his presence. If you are not worthy of even being in his presence, meaning you are a mean person, you're not nice, you're judgmental, you're rude, you're a know-it-all, you're an egomaniac, whatever, he's not going to appear to you. I'm sorry. He will only appear, he said, I will only appear to those who vibrate in the frequency of love. Okay. Next, he asked, have them sit every morning and meditate on sending love to our mother, the earth. Okay. I'm going to repeat this again. You need to sit every morning and meditate on sending love to Mother Gaia. Okay. Even if it's for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute, he doesn't care. He didn't specify a time. That's up to you, he said. All right. I said, how long did they meditate for? And his answer, as long as you want, but you want to send love and healing to our mother, the earth, and peace would be nice too. All right. The next instruction for you all, hug your family members because many of them will be leaving soon. Sorry, folks, but this is the truth that you're going to have to swallow and get used to. Some of your family members will no longer be here in a little bit. All right. They signed up for that. That's you have no control over. A lot of you are complaining about it. You get on the phone with me and you're upset and angry because your brother or aunt or whoever's not going to make it. They made that choice. You do not control their free will choices. You do not control their life contract. You do not control their learning plan, learning lesson that Yeshua talks about. He said every one of us has a special learning plan, and that's separate from like our contract. There's a contract, but then there's also a learning plan that you have to learn. So you have no control over theirs. You can't change them or make them change. You can only change yourself. You cannot change other people. Be the change you want to see. That's it. Okay. Hug your family members. Okay. So if you have an uncle who you love him, but the uncle is a narcissist and maybe kind of a pervert or something, or who knows what his thing is, I don't know. Or you have an aunt who you love the aunt, but she's a massive bitch. She's just a total bitch. I'm sorry, she's not going to be here. You know, you're going to have to get over that. Give her a big hug. Tell her you love her. And if she's like, what's that all about? Just say, just because, you know, I just wanted to hug you, and know that you're not going to see her for much longer. Okay. Please get it through your head that these people will not be here much longer. They are leaving very soon. I said, what else do you want them to know? He said to tell them, I am with you always. Okay. Not me, Kimberly. Yeshua. He said he is with you always. He is always with us. He is here with this planet and with the people on this planet who are worthy of his energy. He is with us always. Next, tell them they have nothing to fear. He wants to remind you that. And today's topic and teaching is going to be all about the fear. How do you alchemize and transmute the fear? So he said, tell them they have nothing to fear. Next, tell them their world is going to change and it's going to be amazing. I had asked him, do you have any hopeful things for them? Because they're not going to be too happy to hear that a lot of their family members are about to go bye-bye. So I said, what kind of hopeful thing do you have to say? He said, tell them their world is going to change and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be more beautiful, more wonderful, more peaceful, more loving, more incredible than you could ever imagine in your wildest dreams. All right. Next, all the reptilians. Listen up, people. Listen to this. All of the reptilians, the bad ones, okay? Keep in mind that there's like 82 species of reptilians and they're not all bad. But the Draco, Alpha Draconis ones who have been on this planet ruling it, the elites, they have been removed by the Alliance, instructed by Yeshua. Even out of, what is this? What does it say? They're even out of the underground. I couldn't read my writing. Even out of the underground. I was writing so damn fast that it became a scribble. Even out of the underground cities and tunnels. A lot of the earthquakes that the humans have been experiencing recently, there was a pretty decent one near my friend's house in California. A lot of these earthquakes are the cleaning out of these tunnels. I just want you to all understand that. This has been going on for a while now. So Yeshua says that he told us in previous videos that he is kind of like the chief of the alliance. I mean, he's like their chief advisor. He works with the star people and the Earth Alliance and advises. He's like an advisor to them. He helps them and assists them. All right. He said all the reptilians have been removed by the Alliance, instructed by Yeshua, even out of the cities and the tunnels. And I said, what about all of these actors that I know are elites and sports people and politicians and royals, a lot of the royal elites, and like your Klaus Schwabs and all of them that are shape-shifting reptilians that I'm still seeing them on TV every day right now. I said, what about them? He said they've all been replaced by actors temporarily. So everyone that you're seeing that you think is the real deal, like even somebody like Elon Musk, possibly, not going to go into that on this channel, that they've all been replaced with actors. And until the humans, he said, until the humans wake up. So when we go through our transition, it won't matter anymore because everybody will know the truth. But until we go through the transition, there are actors that are pretending to be all of the shape-shifting reptilians who have already been they've been all obliterated and recycled back to source. They do not get to have a rehabilitation because they're non-rehabable. They do not have the ability to love. They have no ability for empathy and no ability for compassion. And because of that, unless they were a hybrid somehow, there are some of them that have been hybrided with like humanity. They're kind of a mix of both. And so those do have the ability for love and compassion and empathy. But if they're 100% full-blooded Draco reptilian, they don't have the ability to love and they never will. They're not going to like suddenly develop it. It's not going to happen. They were created by Lucifer and some other evil Anunnaki, whatever ancient beings that created these that have turned away from God. They turned their back fully against God, and they're part of the Antichrist system, the Antichrist program. The Antichrist is not one person, it's a whole energy, frequency, vibration, and group of beings. And I've talked about this in multiple past videos. So the actors that you are seeing on TV are just normal people that are wearing masks or makeup, making themselves look like the different humans, the different actors, celebrities, politicians, elites, all of them that or reptilians, basically. They were shape-shifting reptilians. Okay. All right, so that's the message for you. It's all good stuff. The reptilians have been removed. No, the bad news is there's still demons all over the planet, and those will be purged when the event happens. So when the love wave hits the planet, those beings will all go. The reason they took the alliance and them had to take the reptilians out is because they were continuously on a daily basis eating humans, eating us, mostly babies and children. So they were continuing their abduction of children, their satanic ritual abuse of children, their raping, pillaging, defiling of children, torturing them, draining their blood and making more of the ADRENOCHROME. And that was just going to keep going until the purification event, and the beings in heaven said enough of this, no more. And so the alliance, and I told you this in I think a few videos back, that Yeshua had said that that second moon up there wasn't a second moon, that it's actually a big Andromedan ship that came here to clear out and disintegrate all of the reptilians. So basically that's what's been going on. It's been going on for a couple months now. They've been slowly cleaning out all these tunnels. There's little earthquakes everywhere. I've been checking the earthquake thing, and there's like 2.1 and 3.1 and all over the world in all these different locations. That's them blowing tunnel after tunnel after tunnel, underground cities, all of it destroying wherever these guys are. All right, so now let's get into the teaching on fear. All right, and if you're wondering why I'm wearing this hat, it's because it's cold as a witch's boobie. It's very cold here, so that's why I'm wearing a hat. I had to go out to the store and got snow and sleet and rain and all kinds of stuff. It's nasty, very cold. All right. Here we go. Where's the fear-based teaching? Here we go, fear. Okay, ta-da. All right. You're going to want to take a lot of notes today. If you haven't already gotten a notepad and a pen to write all this down, please stop the video now. Go get one. You're going to need to take a lot of notes. I'll take a pause. Maybe do a little bit of clearing. Let's see if I can. Do a little bit of clearing. I can get this going. Oh, it's not really cooperating. It's not really cooperating. Yeah, for whatever reason it doesn't want to. Usually I can spin it. I can get it to the sound to. Maybe it might be this thing that I'm using. Might not be a good one. Let's see if I can. Oh, maybe that one will work. Or that one. But we're just doing some clearing. Here we go. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, whoops, sorry, I just clanged another bowl over there. All right, so we are ready to talk about how you are all going to clear, transmute, and alchemize your fear. No more fear. We're going to blow it all away. So first I want to talk about my teaching. I've always said false evidence appearing real. I learned that many years ago when I was trying to deal with my own fear and my own worries. So we're not only covering today fear, but also worry and anxiety with this, because these steps will also help with that. There's some extra steps if you have anxieties and worries. There's some extra steps involved with that, which I'm not going to cover here because we'll cover more about that in another video. Or you can read The Real Fountain of Youth, because I talk a lot about that in there. And that book, because that is a whole body, mind, spirit transformational program. That's like a whole spiritual alchemy book on how to alchemize everything in your body, mind, and spirit, from fear and stress to peace and love. And so, and of course, long life, which is why it's the Real Fountain of Youth, because it's going to make you live longer. So let's talk about fear. So for me, fear is false evidence appearing real. And if you're fearing something, it's usually a future thought. So like you're afraid spiders are going to bite you, or you're afraid that your car won't start, or you're afraid that the neighbor is going to steal your package off your porch. Or these are all future things. So one of the best ways, this is my biggest teaching, to get over fear is constantly staying in the present, like focusing on your breath, focusing on what am I doing right now? I'm eating, focusing on a crunchy apple, the juice, the taste, the flavor, the crunchiness, the smell. When you're fully present in your physical sensations, you know, what am I hearing? What am I smelling? What am I tasting? What am I touching? What am I sensing? When you're in that, or my breathing, I'm just in my breathing. I'm in that space between the breaths, the in breath and then the out breath, and that space in between the breath, that very, very present moment space. When you are in that, you cannot have fear, because fear and being in the present moment cannot exist together in the same place. So one of the best ways that you can ever alchemize and transcend and transmute all of your fear and just shut it off completely is by constantly practicing being in that now moment, because it's really hard to fear and be in the now moment. because you're just fully focused on the now moment. You're fully focused on staring at a candle, or fully focused on drinking a glass of water with some sea salt, or whatever it is you're doing. You're in that moment, and you can't be freaking out and scared at the same time, or worrying. You can't worry at the same time that you're in the present moment, because worry and fear is all future things. Okay, so the first thing that, so I asked him about his teachings for you on this. And so we're going to go over his teaching for you about fear. And this is going to be a multi-step process for you. So make sure you're writing all this down. And that is in addition to what I just told you about being present. Okay. So first, he also said, tell them false evidence appearing real is what fear really is. It's not real. It's just not real. Okay. So tell yourself that. So the minute you feel afraid or worried about anything, you need to tell yourself, this is false evidence appearing real. It's not real. It's just right now, it's just in my mind. It's all in my mind, and it could become real, but here's things I can do. So the first thing you're going to do is ask yourself, is what you are afraid of or worrying about really real? Is it really real? So what do I mean? Let's give an example of that. Let's say you're afraid that you're going on a vacation, or you're going on a boat trip, and you're afraid that the boat is going to sink. That's not really real. It's not a real thing. It's really just a fear. It's probably a very well-built, well-maintained boat, and it's probably never sunk ever in history, and it'll probably never sink ever in history. So your fear of the boat sinking is not real. It's your mind trying to fake you out. Okay, so that's the first thing. So ask yourself, is what you are afraid of real? So now, if the answer to the question is no, this isn't really happening right now, or it's not something that's going to definitely happen 100% without a doubt that it's going to happen, or it's happening right now, and it's happening. If the answer is no, you're going to give it over to God, and you're going to clear it and affirm, I am safe and protected. My family is safe and protected. And so that is what you're going to do. You're going to immediately say, you're going to immediately just give it over to God. Say, I have this crazy fear. It's not real. It's not going to happen. I'm giving it over to God, and ask God to clear that from you and to take that from you. And then you're going to affirm, I am always safe and protected. My family is always safe and protected. Okay. Now, let's say you ask yourself the question, is what you are afraid of real? And the answer is yes, because let's say you are afraid that if you just walk right across the street without looking, you're probably going to get hit by a car. Well, that's a real thing, right? So if the answer is yes, then the next question you're going to ask is, do I have control over this? So if the answer is no, it's not something. So let's talk again about this. If this is a real fear, like if I'm next to somebody and I'm in a crowded bus and people are all shoving and pushing, my foot could get, I have a hurt foot right now. So let's just say I don't have a hurt foot, but I'm just making this up. So let's say, actually, I've hurt ankle and a hurt knee. So I'll use myself as an example. That's okay. So let's say I have my hurt knee, and I have a fear that if I'm in a crowded bus where there's standing room only, that somebody can hurt somebody could get shoved into me or push into me or something. That is a real fear of a real thing that absolutely can totally happen. Absolutely could that happen. So then the next question, if you know this is something that could definitely happen without a doubt in your mind, this fear is going to happen. For example, I'm buying a house. The bank could turn down our loan because we don't have good enough credit. Okay, we know we don't have good enough credit, so there's a really good chance the bank turns down our loan. We're going to be worried about it and fearful about it. So that is a yes. Okay, so then you're going to ask, do I have control over this? Do I have control over this? And if the answer is no, then again, you're going to give it over to God, and you're going to say your mantras of, I am always safe and protected. And you can also say, the universe takes care of all my needs, even before I know I need something. The universe always takes care of all my needs, even before I need something. Now, I learned that affirmation actually from Stellar Fairbairn. I learned that from her, and I love that affirmation. I learned that in one of her amazing classes. I recommend her classes to you. They're all beautiful and awesome, and I learned so much from her. She's a really wise teacher. So that is something you can say. You know, you can basically just give it over to God. I'm safe and protected. My family's safe and protected. And the universe is taking care of all my needs, even before it knows I know that we need them. Okay. So now, if the answer is yes, I do have control over this thing I'm afraid of, then what you're going to do, so what are some things that you could be afraid of that you have control over? Well, if I take this medicine from Big Pharma, I could have a side effect. So you have a choice to make. Maybe you shouldn't take that medicine. Or maybe you have to change your diet or take some other supplement to make sure you don't have that side effect from that medicine. Another thing would be, I'm going on a vacation, and what if the car I rent breaks down? That happens a lot. They don't maintain rental cars very well. So this is totally possible that this is a real thing to be worried about, that you need to plan for. These are things you need to plan for. So if the answer is yes, this is a real thing I'm afraid of, yes, I have some control over it. So what you're going to first do is you're going to meditate on how can you handle the situation. So it might be something easy, like make sure you buy auto insurance, or make sure that you are prepared with Benadryl or an EpiPen or something if you have an allergic reaction to whatever you're about to take. But you need to sit and meditate on, how can I handle the situation? And then what you're going to do is you're going to come up with a plan, and you're actually going to write this plan down. You don't want to keep it in your head. You don't want to come up with the answer and just keep the answer in your head. You want to write it down. And this is something I mention in a lot of my training on stress management, because when you hold on to plans in your head, it basically causes stress. You know, when you keep all that in your head and you don't write down your to-do list, for example, a lot of you have to-do lists and you keep it all in your head. It's very stressful to do that, and it makes you feel really anxious. It causes anxiety. So you should always write your plans down on a to-do list, and then check the things off as you go. Make an action plan. All right. The next step you're going to do after you come up with a plan and you write it all down is you're going to pray and meditate on the positive outcome that you want to achieve or see happen. Okay. Again, this is coming directly from Yeshua. Okay. This is not coming from me. Some of this stuff is stuff I've been teaching, but he's the one who gave me these steps in the row and told me da 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 da. So I'm doing his version. So pray and meditate on the positive outcome that you want to see happen. So whatever the end result is that you want, you need to visualize that, meditate on it, and imagine it, and pray on that and ask for it. Okay. The next step is you're going to ask Mother, Father, Abun, or Mother, Father, Prime Creator, God, whatever you want to call God, and Yeshua for their help. Ask them for their help. They will help you. Okay. The next step is you're going to get a hold of a glass of filtered water, and you're going to pray over that water. Maybe put a pinch of sea salt in there so you absorb it better. Now, I have a class on my website you can sign up for that's all about how to use water for healing and healing yourself and healing other people and also healing the whole planet. I have a class. It's on my website. You can go there. You can click on it and you can sign up. It's very inexpensive. And you also will learn about how to use sacred geometry symbols for healing yourself and others as well. But what you're going to do is you're going to take a glass of water. You're going to pray over it. You're going to say to the water, I love you, water. I infuse every molecule of this water with the frequency of unconditional love and healing. I ask for every molecule of this water to heal and clear all energies of fear from my body, mind, and spirit now. In the name of Yeshua. And so it is. Or you can you don't have to say Yeshua if you're a Buddhist or Jewish or whatever religion you follow. You can just say, and so it is. So again, you can also add in worry into that. So again, here's what the prayer is, and please write this down. All right. I love you, water. I infuse every molecule of this water with the highest frequency of unconditional love and healing. I ask for every molecule of the water to heal and clear all energies of fear and worry from my body, my mind, and my spirit now. And so it is. Or you can say in Yeshua's name, and so it is. Okay, and you can put this on replay until you get it all written down. So let's go back through all these steps again really quickly, just to make sure you all understand. I don't want people saying, what did you say again? No, here it is. Okay, first of all, fear is false evidence appearing real. Ask yourself, is what you're afraid of really a real thing, or is it just an imaginary thing that your mind is tricking you with? Give it over to God if it's not. Okay, clear it and affirm you're always safe and protected. Your family is always safe. If it is a real thing to be afraid of, then ask, do I have control over this? The answer is no. Again, give it over to God. Say the same little prayer. Affirm you're safe and protected. The universe is taking care of all your needs. If the answer is yes, you're going to meditate on how you can handle the situation. Okay, maybe you need to buy insurance. Maybe you need to drive more careful. Maybe you need to call a friend for some help. Figure it out, write up a plan, make sure it's on paper, pray and meditate, and imagine and visualize the positive outcome you want to achieve or see happen. Ask Mother, Father, God for help and Yeshua to help you out. Then take your glass of water and say the prayer. And that's it. And that is how you alchemize all of your fear. You turn it and transcend it and transmute it from fear to love. Okay. And my very last step that I'm going to add in addition to all of what he said, is after you've done with all of this, because fear is the opposite of love, put your hands over your heart and say, I am that I am. I am pure unconditional love. I am, and I would say it 3 times or 6 times or 9 times. Nikola Tesla's number thing really works. It's very powerful. So I would say I am that I am, and I am unconditional love always. And I would say that 3 times because that is the opposite of fear. Okay, you're canceling out that fear and you're filling up with that love. You're filling yourself with the love. All right. So these are your steps. These are your instructions on how to alchemize fear. That's all I have to say to you guys today. I also wanted to remind you that we still have a few spots left for our women's retreat. The link is below in the description if you want to come join me in person in Rhode Island in June of 2025. That's 7 months away. It'll go very fast. What's the other thing? Oh, and for all of you men, I've had many of you men comment about why can't we go? Why isn't there a men's retreat? I have tried to offer men's classes and men's retreats for years, and not one man ever signs up for it. I get men who complain. They'll always complain and say, oh, you don't do it for men. And then I'll say, okay, here you go. I'll offer them a men's thing. And then, oh, well, I can't do that now. Or, oh, I don't have money. Or, oh, I'm not interested now. And it's excuse after excuse. They just like to complain, and they don't put their money where their mouth is, as they say. They don't sign up for the classes. They don't sign up for the retreats. I'm going to give you all one more chance at this. I'm going to, instead of doing a women's retreat in the year 2026, we are going to do a women and men's spiritual journey together to all the sacred Magdalene and Christed sites and Druid sites and ley line, grid lines of Mother Gaia sites in England, Ireland, and Scotland with Stellar. Okay, Stellar and I are going to be doing this in the spring of 2026. We are going to do Stonehenge and Glastonbury and Avebury and sites up in Scotland, and sites. We're going to do all the stone circles, all the ley line sites, all the Druid, the ancient, powerful, magical sites that will be open to men and women. And if you want to join me in person on that tour and go to all those mystical sites, and we'll be doing a lot of activations at those sites for you, a lot of healings at those sites, a lot of meditations at those sites. If you want to do that with us, start saving your money. And you won't be able to tell me, oh, it's only for women, because it's going to be open to men. And we'll see how many of you men actually show up on the trip. And if none of you show up, I don't want to ever hear any more complaints ever again. Seriously. I've been offering stuff to you guys forever, for years, and you never take me up on it. So no more complaining. Anyways. All right. So that's all I have to say. I love you all. Go in peace and go be love. And we will all ascend together. See you next time.